All right, we are officially live. Welcome to the Confident Closer Masterclass. I am beyond excited to be here with you guys today. I have been working in the background to put together this material for you today, and I am so excited. Thank you for being here with me. Um, welcome. Let me know in the comments that you guys are jumping on. Let me know, what is your official title? What do you go by? Are you a coach? Are you a realtor? What is your official title? Go ahead and drop that in the comments. I always love to see who I'm speaking to and also to know who is here. And let's just make sure everything's good on our end. I'm certainly hopeful everything's good on excuse me, on our end. And then also I am using StreamYard. So StreamYard, if you want me to see I'm going to see everybody's comments as you plug them in, but if you want me to actually see your name, you have to give StreamYard permission to show that. And so all you have to do is, there should be a little link to click real quick inside the description. Go ahead and do that, and it just gives you permission. You come right back to the video, and that way I know exactly who I'm talking to. So yes, awesome. We are ready to go. So like I said, I have been working in the background meticulously putting this all together for you, and I am so excited to be here with you to share with you a bit about what I know in business, um, that has worked so well for me and has transferred and worked well for my clients. And now I get to share this with you so that you can become a more confident closer, because you know what to expect and you know how to move people through one step to another. You know that outcome, and that is what I'm hoping for you. So if you're just joining, please let me know what your official title is inside of the comments here. Let me know if you are a coach, a service professional, if you are a realtor, if you are, XYZ, drop that in, because I always like to know who I'm talking to on these live videos. So thank you so much for being here. I also I want you to drop me an emoji. Okay, drop me an emoji if you are here because you currently want more clients in sales. If that's you, drop me an emoji. Okay, I'm thinking it's probably most of you, right? If you are wanting to do this inside of a simple framework inside of the DMs, let me know that too. Just drop an emoji and say yes. Oh, I love that little goofy face. He's so funny. So I'm going to be teaching you the full process today and show you how you can move people from your post, from your awesome content, which yes, we'll be going over a little bit today too, into Messenger, and then be able to guide those people to the next step, whether that is a call with you or if that is a website or a masterclass link. But we are going to be starting today with some key fundamentals regarding clarity in your messaging and your posting strategies. And then we're going to dive into those Messenger DM sales strategies so that you can move people through and close sales more often than not. Let me know if that is something that is good for you. Hi, Sarah. I see you. Good to see you. Christian business coach. Love that so much. Yay. We actually have so much in common. If you haven't already subscribed to our Productive and Profitable podcast over on YouTube, make sure you check it out. Sarah is going to be one of our guests coming up soon. So, okay, so my intention today is that you will walk away with the foundational clarity that you need to finally start talking with your leads effectively and close more sales with confidence, because you have the framework that's going to allow you to sell out your offers. All right. At the end, I'm also going to be giving you a little bit of a sneak peek into my brand new offer that is designed to help you master selling your offers on social. So make sure you stick around to the end for that. There are going to be a few details that I'm going to be sharing, and there's also going to be a very special offer for the first few people who decide to jump in with me and take their business to the next level. So Thank you again for being here. I'm so excited. If we haven't officially met yet, my name is Teresa. I am a strategic business coach. I help Christian entrepreneurs to build their businesses online through productivity systems and strategies. And we do a whole lot of things together, but the goal is to find what really works for you and your business so that you can focus on the things that are most important in your business, get your work done, and still have time for your family or the things that you love and are passionate about. So, again, today in the Confident Closer Masterclass, I'm going to be teaching you a foundational strategy to take your online business to the next level and to empower yourself with the key skills, needed to transform your online presence and boost your sales through authentic relationship-based strategies. So I gotta know something. Who here likes math? Do we have any math nerds in the house? My daughter and her best friend, they like math and science and art, crafts, right? They love all the things, but they call themselves math nerds. And so I'm just curious, do we have any other math nerds in the house? I like math. I really like math, but there was a time in my life where I hated it because it suddenly became really hard for me. I actually got A's most of my life in math. And I remember when I first got my B, it was like, it's not a big deal. It's just a B, right? And then my senior year, my senior year in high school, I got my first ever D in anything but in math. And it was so devastating. And the reason why was because we were learning things that I didn't understand how the teacher was teaching them, and I could figure out the problem in my own way, but even though I could show my work, the teacher didn't allow that. And so because I couldn't do math her way, right, and show it, I failed or I got a D in her class. And so that made me feel like I was doing math wrong, and it caused a lot of problems for me for a very long time. Thankfully, when I got into college, though, I had a math teacher that didn't care how you did it, as long as you could show that you did it, right? As long as you could show that you knew how to figure out the answer and it was reasonable, she was fine with it. And so what I realized was that in my senior math class, I was with this teacher. I was in this environment that didn't appreciate that there can be more than one way to solve a problem. And I'm sharing this with you because today you might see some things that feel a little weird, right? Or like, I don't know about that. I don't know if I can do that, but I want to share this because it's a new way. And it could be a missing link. It could be a very small piece to the overall puzzle that you need. And so, but whenever we're challenged with something, especially in a training, it's important to just take note of why that sounds weird or feels weird, but stay tuned in, like give it presence for a moment, but stay tuned in, because in here, just like me being able to solve that math problem differently, okay, it may open your eyes to, wow, there is something different here. And the great thing about strategy is that there's never one size fits all with business. Okay. We always take what we learn and we decide, what is it in this that I can take and I can combine to create my own unique strategy. And so that is what I want you to keep in mind today as we go through. Because also, like, it might just take one small little piece of the puzzle that you're missing, might take one small little piece that, when once implemented, it could be the key to land to your first 5K or 10K or more month. So stay plugged in, get involved in the comments, and think how you can strategically apply this framework to your business today. Are you ready? Oh yes, I actually hated math when I was younger, but loved math later and excelled at it. I can relate with your daughter and you. Awesome. Okay, just one more thing here. In the description of the video, there is a message from StreamYard. It should say like, give StreamYard access to see who you are or whatever, if you just click on that, it gives it permission so that I can see on the screen here who is actually commenting. Right now, it just says Facebook user, Facebook user, Facebook user. I do have my phone pulled up, but it'll be easier to see the comments here. And then if you have your name, I'll know who's saying what. So, all right, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, my daughter's gracing us with her presence here. Okay, so in order to close more effortlessly, we have to start with the foundational piece of clarity in your messaging and what you are communicating with your audience. So this is the part that tends to get overlooked so much, right? We hear like we need to find our niche and we need to understand who our ideal client is, but it's really more than that. Okay. Yes, we need to know who we're talking to. Okay. But we also need to know what we are talking about. What is your current offer? What are you selling? Okay. So knowing who your ideal client is, knowing what you're speaking about and trying to sell, and on top of that, understanding why is this thing that you're trying to sell important? Why is it important to the person on the other end? What is that ultimate transformation that you are promising or hoping that they will achieve? And the biggest part here is the how, and the how is really through you. So when we are piecing things together, when we're working on an offer, when we have something to sell, even if the sell is just just us by ourselves. Oh my goodness. So everybody's here in the house right now, and I don't know if you hear him, but it's so distracting. My dad just showed up. The kids were all at the door. Everybody's talking. Okay, it's quieted down. Okay, so oh my goodness, what was I saying? Okay, yes. So when we have something to sell, even if it's just a one-to-one coaching, which I shouldn't say just, because that's a very high form of delivery, right? One-to-one coaching. But we need to understand who we're speaking to, and we're going to show up and only speak to that person online. We're going to treat our social media like it is our only thread to being able to talk to these people. And we're not showing up to speak to our friends and family. We're speaking to our person, the person who desperately needs what we have, and we know that we can give it to them. But we have to know, what exactly are we offering? Being so clear in our messaging. We might have lots of offers, but we're only going to speak to one thing at a time, right? And then, why is this important to the person on the other side? Why? And who is going to give it to you? That's the how. That's you. And this is the most important part. And I actually have a slide, and I need to put this up. Okay, what makes you the one, the person who is the person out of all the other people out there? Because Sarah's on the line. She's a business strategist. I'm a business strategist or coach. Maria is a business strategist coach, right? So I mean, there's already 3 people that I know that are here right now that are doing that. So what is the thing about you that makes you stand out? What makes you the one to be able to help them with this transformation? And that is going to be the key thing in your messaging. And so it's important that you spend time getting so clear on this. If you are not someone who journals regularly about your business, please consider doing so. Okay. So when we think of what makes you the one, it really comes down to your story. Like, how did you get here? One of the things that makes me the one is that math example that I shared with you. I know that there's more than one way to do something right. There's more than one way to get awesome results. And my own personal business journey allows me to connect with my audience in such a way that, like, I don't beat around the bush. I tell you what it is, and we move forward with that piece, and we see how things can be strategically applied. So finding out what makes you the one and being able to communicate that clearly inside of your messaging and your copy is going to be so key. We are starting here because you can't get to the DMs. You can't get to having those conversations if you aren't openly talking about what you do and how you help somebody specifically. All right. Which also brings in the how this is supposed to look. Like, how can this look on social media? Um, I want to say there is so much value in having pretty pictures, right? Spending time on Canva, making your images gorgeous. And especially if you're on Instagram, it's like you feel like you got to have all these things and you got to have the perfect carousels. But I want to tell you that simplicity is what accelerates. Simplicity. Simplicity in how you show your posts, simplicity in your processes in the back end. It is when you keep things simple that you feel good and energetic and elevated, and your audience feels it too. Okay. So I'm going to show you some examples here in a minute about how we can keep things simple with our content, because there are so many of us that spend so much time on developing graphics for our images and our content, that then we could do so much better for ourselves and for our clients if we spent that time doing more clarity work, right, than creating these images. And there have been seasons where I have like momentarily had some insanity and I forgot about that and I went back into creation mode, and then suddenly I realized my sales are dropping, or the engagement itself on my post was dropping and I didn't understand why. And then I'm like, wait a minute. It's because I've spent all this time making these pretty images instead of keeping things simple. So when we keep things simple in our content, right? When we are delivering the who, what, why, and showing how we are the one, when we keep things simple, we can keep them super simple for image wise, right? Images, we should just be showing lots of pictures of ourselves. I know like it can be a little crazy or feel weird to always show pictures of yourself. However, our audience needs it, and we need to be posting and sharing with their needs in mind, not our own. Okay. We're not worried about people thinking like, oh, she's always showing her face. You're not always showing your face, by the way. It just feels like it. Okay. But when you show your face, it allows people to connect deeper with you. So encourage yourself to, one of the things I do is I do a DIY photo shoot at the beginning of every month. I just did mine yesterday. So you're going to see new pictures coming through. And basically, I pull out a few different tops. I do my hair, and I have a couple different pairs of earrings, and I go around my house and take pictures of myself. But that way they're all there, right? And I can just grab them when I want to write a post to connect with my audience. Okay. But also using things like the color blocks. Some people call these billboard posts. We have this bright color background and just a few words on the page. Okay, these are really great because they grab attention and they're so simple to read. And if you have a strong call to action, it allows people to quickly engage. So, in our content, and this isn't a content masterclass, we have done those, and there's probably a lot of free resources in this community still. If you just use the search bar and write content, I'm sure tons of stuff will come up. But this is just a couple tips so that we get people into the DMs, which we're going to do in a minute. Okay. All right. So when we're writing our content, our people need to see, like they want to imagine what you're talking about. So telling stories, both stories of your own or your clients. And if you are starting, you don't have a lot of those, it's totally fine. Like I shared the math story. If you related to that or could use that in your content, it's as simple as saying, you know what? I heard this story from my friend today about how when she was in high school, she was told that she was doing things the wrong way. Blah, 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 blah. Right? And then you relate that to what you can offer. You're relating it to your what, right? And the why it's important. So telling stories is really important. Using things like analogies or similes, metaphors, those are so important because it helps to paint the picture. And I will say probably the most important thing that you can do is to have these shorter posts and have questions. We can call them call to actions, but they allow the viewer to read quickly and to respond, because once they respond and engage, then we can start the conversation and ultimately move them over to Messenger. Okay, now I do have a couple. Yes, I do have a few examples I'm going to share with you. Um, so let me know if you're still here. Just say, yes, I'm ready. Show me the money. No, don't show me the money. Show me the graphics. Okay. All right. So let me move over here. Okay. So we have this one here. Okay. And some of you are actually in this community because of this post. So if that's you, if you saw this post, say I saw it in the comments, let us know. But there you see there's a picture of myself, very simple. What one of the things I also like to do, see how I have this hashtag there? Sometimes I put a hashtag at the very beginning and it just draws attention and kind of summarizes the whole point of the post. But so remember, I am speaking directly to my ideal client, which if you read this and connected with it, you are likely her. Okay. And I'm going to speak to the problem they have and why it's important for it to be resolved and why I'm the one. Okay. So, do you use Facebook and Insta stories? They're so great because they allow people to land directly in our inbox. I love them now, but I didn't always because it seemed the only thing people ever commented on were pics of me and my kids. Do you relate? See how I've involved them there? But I took the time to create a simple framework, slow down to speed up, and now, because my outcome is clear, I have actual legit conversations with people about business that naturally lead into working together in some capacity. And it's been so fun. I'm a total open book and believe in sharing our secrets. So, what questions do you have around stories? Now, I'm sharing this one with you because I am a huge advocate for being out and networking in other people's Facebook groups. And not all Facebook groups are okay with promos, right? And so here I'm sharing why I am an important person to talk to about this because I've had this transformation and I'm saying I am an open book. So let me know, what questions do you have around this? And what's really great is that people responded. There were a ton of people that responded. This shows there's 23 comments. Yes, that includes me going back and forth with a couple of these. But this person here was the first person to comment. She said, what are the best things to share? How frequently? So I answer these things. And then down below here, I said, I did actually put together a 10-minute training on the framework I use. It's only 10 minutes long. Let me know if you want to check it out. So I served her in the comments here. I didn't go into this much detail in everybody's, but I did here because it sets me up as someone who knows something, right? So it's going to instantly build trust with anybody who comes and reads the comments inside of this post. And of course, this person said, yes, I'd like it. And then the rest of these replies are other people that say, oh, I'd like the training too. I'd like the training too. Okay. And then, yes, it goes down a little bit further, but I'm only sharing the one comment here. So at this point, when people are saying they want my freebie, okay, my little 10-minute training, it opens the door for me to be like, okay, I'm going to pop over to your inbox and give it to you. And then I go into the inbox, and that's when I start this art of conversation, which I'm going to be sharing with you today in just a moment. Okay. So, are you seeing the basic structure here? When we know exactly what we are wanting to convey, what we are selling, it becomes very, very clear. When our outcome is clear for our post, and we're doing the who, the what, the why, and we're demonstrating how we are the one to show them we are equipped, then those conversations get started naturally and we can move them over. Okay, here is another one. Okay, this is the billboard post. Okay, our color block post. See how simple this is. This here got so much engagement, and I use this in several different groups. And so it's like, you know, I could make all these beautiful Canva images, but if this is what works, I'm going to do what works. I'm going to put aside vanity and making sure my social looks beautiful, and I'm going to stick to what actually is working in my business. And I want to encourage you to do that too. Okay, so this says, I put together an awesome free training to help you make more sales in the DM straight from your Facebook or Instagram stories. Want to check it out? We had several new women join this community from this post as well. Okay, because we went into Messenger. I gave the training, I went through some steps with them, and then they ended up in this community. And again, some of you might be here because of this. All right, so simplicity accelerates. Stick with what works, because that what works, right? So if you see everybody else doing all these beautiful images, just remember the images are nice, but they are not what works. I want to stick with what works because I value my time and I want to be successful. All right. Okay. So we are going to move into the DM sales now. Now that we understand that it all starts with our content, okay? And our content, like, we need to have so much clarity in our messaging so that people engage on it. And then once they engage on it, it opens the door to move over into Messenger. So I like to call this the art of conversation. Now, before I go over this, I want to preface this with, this is a framework, okay? A framework, just like in math, is one way to do something. Ultimately, you as the business owner, you with your own God-given talents and strengths and skills, okay, your own unique story that God has provided for you, when you go through this and you start practicing it, you will make it your own. And so keeping aligned with the framework is going to be key, moving people through the steps, but you're going to put your own unique spin on it. So it's going to sound a little weird here just because it's a framework, okay? But stick with me. And as we go through this, I want you to think, okay, how would I ask that question? How would I address that? All right. So because this is a process, I'm going to first talk you through the steps, and then I'm going to show you an example. All right. So if you're not already taking notes, please make sure that you are. Okay. All right. So the first step, okay. The first step, so remember, somebody's just commented on your post. You might interact just a bit in the comment section there, but then you're going to say something like, hey, let's continue the conversation over Messenger. Are you cool with that? Or if you're delivering a freebie, you can say, awesome, I'll pop it over to your inbox. Be there in just a minute. Okay. Now you're in the inbox. When we're here in the inbox, our goal is to learn as much as we can about this person and their ultimate goals and desires. And we also want to know, what have they already done? What have they tried already before? Because when we know these things, we know if we can offer somebody what, like, we can see if our offer is going to work for them, but also it helps us to pre-qualify them if they are going to be a perfect fit to work with us. So it's like, it works both ways, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to thank them for showing interest in the post. And then we're going to ask if we can ask a few questions. So we're going to ask permission to ask them a couple questions about whatever the topic was inside of the post. They're going to say, yes, of course. So you might say something like, if it was a freebie, you might say, hey, I'd love to get you that free training. I have a couple questions I want to ask first just to make sure it's the right fit. Are you okay with that? Okay. That's an example of asking for permission. And of course, they're going to say yes, because you have what they want, right? And so when you have that permission, you are going to go into this sequence. So the first thing that we want to do is to understand their current situation. So we're going to simply ask them, how is XYZ going for you? How is your health going for you? How is parenting your child going for you? Whatever your topic was about in your post, that's what you're going to ask about. How is it going for you right now? And every step, they're going to share information with you. You can edify them. You can repeat something that they've said to show that you've heard, and you're restating what they've said. But But then you're going to move into the next part. Okay. So we want to assess their current situation first. And then we're going to ask them about what are the results that they're looking for? What is it that they actually desire and want? Okay. So what kind of things do you want to be working on? Or what kind of goals do you want to hit in the next couple months? You want to lose, you want to lose weight? Great. What would that look like for you in the next couple months? Okay. And then you want to understand what the challenges that might stand in their way. So we call this the perceived challenge. And it's basically what do they think is standing in their way from achieving that goal or that desire. So some people might say, it's just me. It's just me. I'm in my head. I know I'm the one that's standing in the way. But some people might say, I just don't have the time. Or there's tons of different things, but this is important because this is actually an objection, right? And so if we know the objections and we're just having a regular conversation about things, right, then those objections can be handled as we move through this genuine conversation. And then we want to ask a little bit more of background here. So again, what have you done before to help you with this? What worked? What didn't work? What did you like? What did you not like? Okay, ask those background questions. And then eventually you're going to move into a sense of urgency. So, how important is this to you right now? Like, is this something you want to work to fix now, or is this something you want to work on in the future? And this is really an important question because timing really is everything, right? We do go through seasons of learning and implementing, of hardship and ease, of growth and rest. And so it's important to know that for them. It might be a really hard season. It might not be the right season, which is totally fine, but at least you know. But through this question as well, you might find out some other things that are standing in the way, some other challenges that they didn't realize that were there. Some limiting beliefs is what we would call them. Okay. Yes, timing is everything. Okay. And then we're just going to ask them, how open are they? So are you open to working with somebody, or are you ready to, do you want to keep working by yourself? So if in that sense of urgency, if they're like, I'm so tired of living this way, I want to change it now. It's like, great. I'm here. Do you want help, or do you want to go it alone a little bit more? And if they say that they do want to go it alone, like one of the things that I just like to ask is like, great, that's fine. But if you're going to do the same thing you've always done, you're going to get the same results. So if you're going to do it by yourself and continue, what is going to be the thing that changes? What are you going to do differently this time to ensure you get the results? And that is such a service. That is such a service. If you're not asking that question, you're allowing people to fail. So we want to set people up for success, whether or not they choose to work with us, right? Because I don't know about you, but as a kingdom entrepreneur, I'm to be a good steward of all that God has given me, and that includes all the people that He puts in my path. So I want to leave people better than I find them. So I would ask that question. What are you going to do differently to ensure that you're going to have success this time? And even asking that question might just get them to think, oh man, maybe I don't want to do it on my own again. Maybe I do want some help. Okay. Which, if they are open to receiving help, that's when you make the offer. That's when you say, awesome, I'm so glad that you're open to it because I actually have an amazing program that's going to do this for you. And because you've asked all these questions, you already know what their desired results are. You already know the challenges that they think, like they assume have kept them back. And you can relate that in your offer. You said you wanted to lose this weight by Thanksgiving so that you could look good at your sister-in-law's wedding, your sister's wedding, right? And you said what was standing in your way was this other thing here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to help remove that block so that we can do XYZ, so that you can have that desire that you want, but also taking it a step further, you will be completely set up for continued success past the wedding. because ultimately that's what people really want, right? That's what they want. They don't want the now necessarily. Like the wedding would be great. That's the immediate fix. But this person really wants lifelong health, and you know that and they know that. So painting that picture. And once you've gone through this whole process, I mean, you've already established who you were in the post. They've already connected with you, right? They've already connected with you. So when it comes to this point here, the sale becomes easy because you've already talked about everything that was important to talk about. This is the framework. Okay, so I told you I was going to go over the framework, and I'm going to actually show you an example. So for the sake of the example, okay, remember, just keep your entrepreneur problem solver mind here and think, when I show you these, I want you to think, how can I make this mine? How would I say that a little bit differently but still get the same result? Okay, going back to that math problem. How can I get the same result? You totally got this. Okay, here we go. I'm super excited. All right. Okay, so here we go. So let's say Susie just commented on this post, okay? So I put together this really awesome free training to help you make more sales in the DM straight from your Facebook or Instagram stories. Do you want to check it out? And Susie comments and she's like, yes, please. And I'm simply going to say, awesome. I'm going to pop over into your inbox. See you there. And now this is inside Messenger. Okay. Hey, Susie, thanks so much for your interest in my free training from the post today. I want to make sure that this is a great fit for you and possibly even customize some things for you. Can I ask you a few quick questions? And she's going to say, yes, of course. Yes, of course. Hey, if you're just joining in, let us know. Okay. I'm going to say, great. For starters, tell me, how have Facebook and Instagram stories been going for you? And in here, they're probably also going to tell me like, well, I don't really use Instagram, or I don't really use Facebook stories, or I link them together. They're going to give me information that's not really relevant, but it's important, right? Okay. So tell me how this has been going for you so far. And then she's going to share it. I'm going to say, I got it. And I might add in here, I'm giving you an example here because I talk to people about this stuff all the time. So I might say something like, I got it. I was actually speaking with a client earlier and she expressed some of those same things. Now, why would I share this? Because it helps the person to know that she's not alone, right? She has some of my story if she's seen any of my other posts, and now she has another story here reminding her that she's not alone, okay? And then I ask those desired results. What would you really love to see happen from your efforts of using stories? This is so key. There's a lot of different things that she could say here, right? I can't assume what she wants here. In my head, I might think she just wants to see lots more sales. But she might say, I actually just want to know that what I'm doing is working. I want to spend less time marketing on social so I can spend more time with my family. And I'm hopeful that Stories allows me to do that. Right? There's a lot of different answers that can come from asking this question. So it's important that we ask and not assume. Okay, we have to ask the question. So what would you really love to see happen from your efforts of using stories? And so she's going to share. Okay. So you sound like you know what you want, Susie, and I agree. That sounds like a great use of your time. So what do you think is missing or needs to change to make that happen? So again, this is that perceived challenge. What does she think has held her back? What does she think is standing in the way from making this result, her desire, come to fruition? So what do you think is missing or needs to change to make that happen? I have no clue if you guys can see my cursor. I guess you probably cannot. Okay. Well, that's a bummer. I'm pointing everything out. So hopefully you can see it on the screen there. Okay. Oh, I did not mean to go so far. Somehow I clicked the wrong thing. It'll go back in a minute. All right. So you sound like you know what you want. What do you think is missing or needs to change to make that happen? And then after she asked that, I'm going to start asking some background questions. Now, I might have to ask more than one question here, but I'm just going to start with, have you tried anything else? Have you tried anything before to help you gain a little traction here, gain momentum here? What have you done in the past up till now? And she's going to share some things, and maybe she'll share like she took maybe she bought an Instagram course, right? I might say, "Oh, well, what worked about that? What did you like about it? What didn't you like?" These are important for me as her coach to know, or as a potential coach to know, right? It's going to better help me serve her. It's going to help me to understand what motivates her, how she works. Okay. So, have you tried anything before to help? What did that look like? What worked? What didn't? What did you like? What did you not like? Choose some things to ask here. Okay. You don't need to ask everything, it's just a simple conversation. Okay. And then we go into the sense of urgency. So, she's going to share her background. I'm going to say, got it. And is this something that you're trying to fix now? Like you really want to start having these meaningful conversations now through your stories? Or is it more like, I'm going to get to it eventually kind of thing? You could even say, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this for you to do right now? 10 being like, I want to do it right now. Okay. You're going to allow this person to share that with you. And then if she says, I don't need help with it right now, I'm going to get to it eventually. Hey, Dee Dee, I'm going to get to it eventually. If that's the thing, great. Tell me, what are you going to do differently? Okay. So, love to hear that, Susie. If she says, I want to get onto it right now, love to hear that. Is this something that you are doing by yourself or you're looking for help with? And again, if they say, oh, I'm just going to do it by myself, great. How are you going to do that differently than you have in the past so that you get a better result? Ask that question. Okay. Otherwise, if they say, yeah, I'm open to it, like what's going on here? Like, do you have something that could help me? You're just going to say it. You're going to say, awesome. I actually have a program that's starting. I have a masterclass that's happening, right? Some of you might have gone through this conversation with me over the past week. And I have said, awesome, you have to come to the Confident Closer Masterclass. It is the next step. I'm going to be teaching you some things about copy that you could use in your DMs, or in your stories. Okay. Because you could use any of what I showed you in your stories, right? You can use those color blocks perfectly as they are in your stories. Okay. And then we'll talk about those next steps of now that they're there in Messenger, Susie, these are the things that you could do to help, convert them into a sale. Or if you don't convert them, at least you've set them up for success and you've developed a great relationship where they're going to refer you to other people. Okay. Okay. Or you might have something where like maybe you don't have a master class, maybe as you're talking to them you think, oh my goodness, like I just need to talk to this person because I have so much to share with them. My program is going to be an awesome fit. Whatever it is, you might say, listen, I think this resource, this freebie is going to be amazing for you, but after asking these questions, my mind is going 1,000 miles per hour with ideas I just love to share. Are you open to hopping on a quick call? Okay. So you can ask them to jump on a call. Now, here I'm reminding that there is this resource, but you don't have to wait until the very, very end to deliver the freebie, the resource that you have. You could actually do it anytime in the conversation. Like if you wanted to, like, let's see. Yeah, okay. So, what do you really love to see happen from your efforts of using stories? They're going to write back and you could say, you know what, before I forget, let me go ahead and send this to you because I think it's going to be really good. But I have a few questions. Like, I still want to keep talking. Okay. And then continue the conversation. So you can drop the free resource whenever you want. You don't have to wait to the end. Okay, someone asked, again, if you want me to see who's actually asking the questions, just give StreamYard permission. It's in the description of this video. Otherwise, it just says Facebook user. So it says, someone asks, is a masterclass better than doing an e-course? If so, why? Again, like there's no right or wrong way to sales. It just depends on what your outcome is. So if, for instance, you are looking to interact with people and to have more of an intimate um, engagement with them, then a masterclass would be the right approach because look, we're all here together. You've seen me live, I get to answer your questions. An e-course is more, them just viewing, and you don't necessarily get to interact with them. So it really just depends. That having an e-course or an evergreen funnel, anything like that, like that's an awesome strategy, but it's a strategy that has a different outcome. That type of thing is usually to get people in your email to deliver email sales, which is a great strategy too, right? Or it might be to start here and then they get it in a sequence and then they come to a masterclass or a webinar, and that frees you up at any time because they're watching a webinar versus you being live. Again, it's really just depends on your personal outcome, what your goal is um, for the thing. I hope that helps. All right. So, hold on. So let me find. Okay. So what I want to tell you now there though, is that all of this really ties back into your mission and why you believe that you are the one. Okay. From here on out, I want you to be thinking in your mindset, I want you to think that sales become natural. Sales are natural for you because they are simply a natural extension of your mission. They're a natural extension of the meaningful conversation that you are currently having right now in the DM with somebody. Okay. It is a natural extension of the messaging, the clarity in your messaging that you have been sharing with people, because you know why you are the one. When you have your who, what, why, and your how dialed in, right? And you are so clear about that in your messaging, it like sales become inevitable for you. You don't have to do the work. Like it just flows naturally. It is there's no other way to describe it. You can't even fall into the friend zone inside a messenger. How many of you have fallen into the friend zone? I know that I'm not alone. Like that was a part of my past, right? Suddenly I was like talking to people and I'm like, how do I stop talking about this and share my offer? Do I even share my offer anymore? Oh my goodness, it's getting into this weird part. Like, am I going to sound salesy now that I waited so long to even say anything? Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Dee like, yep, laugh out loud. All right. So there is no room to fall into the friend zone here because you were so clear in your messaging. You're clear in your mission. You understand what you're doing and who you're talking about. You're understanding how what you have can really help them in what particular way. All right. And so also, when you enter into the online space with this alignment and ultra clarity, you will show up with posture and confidence inside of the DM. So when I said there's no possible way for you to fall into the friend zone if you are spending the time setting up your clarity correctly, you can't fall into the friend zone in that way because you are entering in to that messenger thread. You are entering into that with the posture that you are the one who has what this person needs. She wouldn't have raised her hand otherwise. She wouldn't have said, yes, yes, Dee Dee, yes, Brandy, yes, Maria, like whoever else is here. I can't see everybody. But she wouldn't have said, yes, I want that if you weren't the one. And when you get to show up with posture, this is also why I love having a Facebook community. Ladies, when you came into this group, I was instantly edified as the leader. You see admin, you see a picture of my face. You're here because you resonate with the message. You know my mission is that no entrepreneur be left behind. Nobody should struggle in business alone, right? You relate to that. And so when you start a conversation with me, when somebody comes to my profile, I don't hide who I am. It is very obvious who I am, what I do, who I work with. My mission is very obvious. Hold on. Excuse me. So when somebody friend requests me even, I get to show up with posture and say, hey, thanks so much for the friend request. I don't always talk about productivity and business on my profile, but I do on my community. Come join me over there. And I get to just say that at the beginning because I'm assuming that's why they're there, because it's so clear. They wouldn't shoot me a friend request otherwise, right? They might have shot me a friend request otherwise, but I don't have to assume it's because they want to expand their network, right? I'm going to assume it's because they liked what they saw and they want to be in closer proximity with me. So everything ties back to your mission. And again, if you're not sure what your mission is, we need to like dig a little bit deeper, spend some time journaling like, Lord, what is it? What are the experiences that you've put in my life? How am I different than other people in this industry? What have you taught me or shown me? What is unique about my story? What is important to me? Why have you put me here on this earth? Like, I'm not here to serve everybody. Who am I here? Who am I called to serve in this season, Lord? Those are foundational pieces. And when you bring that before the Lord, I trust wholeheartedly 100% that He is going to reveal those pieces to you. But you have to make the space for it. You have to have space for clarity work. You have to. Oh, bummer, Dee Dee. Glad you're back. Okay. Yes, sales is inevitable when your messaging is done right, and your messaging needing your messaging on everything. Messaging in your live videos, messaging in your copy, messaging in everything. It has to be aligned to this mission and what makes you the person that can bring them the results. Why you instead of others? Okay. And so when you have that, you get to show up with posture and confidence. And then you take them through this art of conversation, which is not weird or gross because they expect this. They expect the person who is a coach in some capacity. They expect the person who is the expert, the service provider in some capacity to guide them, to lead them. And if you are lacking in confidence and posture in that area, you are failing them. So, have you liked what you've heard so far today? Awesome. I see some hearts. I see some hearts. Awesome. I am so glad. Hey, tag somebody in this group that you know. Tag them and say, hey, you got to check this out. If you don't know anybody in this group, you need to invite some people in this group. Invite your business friends into this group. Okay? Thanks, Dee Dee. All right. So, what we've learned today is really, really important. Okay. It is so important. And if you take it and make it your own, just like I did in math class, okay, there's no wrong way. There are lots of different ways to go to get the same problem, but some of the framework has to stay the same. Okay. Make it your own, just like I did. When you do that, you will have fun in the process. It'll feel good. And yes, you will make sales. You will close more often than not. And so if you liked all of this, that's great. That's awesome. And I'm so excited to hear your wins. But if you want to hear the offer that will really, really up your game and help you bring in potential clients, new clients into your world and help make the online sales process fun and feel like a breeze because you know what you should be doing or what you could be doing to make things easier. If that sounds good, then you have to listen to my newest offer. I told you I was so excited, so excited about. Okay, because now that you have a piece of the puzzle figured out, you have some additional key pieces that we've learned here today. I want to invite you to a very special, unique opportunity. And so if you are ready to wake up to a business that excites you and motivates you because you know exactly what to do and what to say, this is for you. If you are a woman in business who is ready to step into the full CEO that you are, this God given calling, this mission that you are intended to be in, establishing yourself as the one in your industry that people are banging on the doors to work with, this is for you. And if you are ready to stop spinning your wheels and to stop doing this alone, this is for you. I want you to drop the word sales below. Drop the word sales below. Okay, introducing. Let me get my slide ready. Introducing the sales reboot. This is a transformative 6-week intensive journey that is meticulously crafted to empower you with the essential skills that you need to thrive in the world of online sales. Building upon the foundational principles that we discussed today, this program is your gateway to unlocking ultimate clarity in your offers, mastering the art of attracting and engaging your audience, refining all of your processes, and creating a consistent sales strategy to help you achieve the monetary goals that you are shooting for in your business. So, on the inside of the sales reboot, we will be mastering your messaging and your positioning. You will craft compelling and authentic, I gotta get my notes out. You will craft compelling and authentic messaging that resonates deeply with your audience, using my secret sauce for forging connections that lead to conversations that establish why you are the one, again, to lead them through their full transformation. We'll be refining your offer to create alignment, defining who your ideal client persona is, defining your mission and your values to ensure that your offers align perfectly with your audience's needs and desires. We will create a strategic sales funnel, learning the strategic steps to guide your potential clients through a seamless and engaging sales funnel, turning your prospects into loyal customers that will come back over and over again. Okay, we will streamline the lead generation process, harnessing the power of collaboration so we can elevate your network by connecting with the right people through some very key targeted strategies. And we're going to calibrate your mindset with biblical truths, cultivating a mindset of abundance, aligning your business strategies with biblical principles for enduring success. And we will intensify your momentum. The momentum that will be building up through this program, we will intensify that with group coaching, work sessions, which is very unique, and mastermind support, where you will receive personalized and real-time guidance and support. And you'll interact with a community of like-minded entrepreneurs. You'll become part of a vibrant community where you are cheerfully supported, held accountable, and continuously motivated to reach your goals. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be so fun, right? Because we will have the camaraderie in there. There will be excitement. We will be motivating and cheering each other on. It is going to be an exhilarating experience that will far surpass anything that you have experienced in this space before. So I invite you to embrace the sales reboot with me and embark on a transformative journey that will equip you with the skills, the strategies, and the mindset, the biblical mindset even, that is needed to not only excel in sales, but to also create an impactful and purpose-driven business. Now, this is what I'm most excited about. Because if you've been here for a while, you have seen other programs and you have seen other investments, right? But I'm going to share with you the investment for this program and you are going to be floored. And I'm so excited. So, without further ado, the sales reboot, the 6-week mastermind is only $777. There is 2 payment options, 2 payments of $390 each or 3 payments of $260 each. But there's so much involved in this and it's growing all the time. So with that, the first 3 people that are enrolled, that choose to move forward with us are going to get the Slay Your Day Productivity Playbook. And that is because it's going to help you design your CEO schedule and prepare you for the program as you wait to our official start date, which is September 12th. Yeek! I'm so excited. So if you are a coach, yes, wow, yes, the price is amazing. Yes, 6 weeks, 6 weeks of group coaching, work sessions, a mastermind thread. Like this is going to be amazing. And of course, all the modules that go with it, right? Okay. So if you are a coach or service based entrepreneur and you are wanting to excel and really make something of your business this very last quarter of the year, I want you inside of this container. I am on a mission to help 10 more incredible souls make at least 5K months this quarter, not next year, this quarter. And I want your name to fill one of those spots. I want your name to show up on the list. So drop sales below so I can get you the info and answer any questions that you have and make sure that this is a great fit. We will also leave the direct link in the comments for those that are they just know they're ready to go. So that will be there for you too. It is time, sister. It is time to reboot your sales approach and step into a new version of success this year. So I cannot wait to welcome you into this container with me. We do start on September 12th. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I am excited to hear your wins and your ahas. Should you choose to move forward or not, I still want to cheer you on. So please share those with me. And again, thanks so much for being here today. It has been a blast. We will make sure that we get the direct link for you for the sales reboot. I'm going to see if I can actually just drop it now. I don't know if I can, but I can't, but that's okay. We'll make sure that we get that for you. All right. We will see you next time. Thanks.